and welcome to another episode of Dance Teachers Academy. I am your host, Jose on a mic, and with me as always is the lovely, amazing dancer, Ame. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, and I feel so blessed to be here with Mr. Sam Sodano.
Yes,
the one and only.
The one and only. This man needs no introduction.
Right,
I mean, if he's
right.
not revered as much, he's possibly more well known than the Pope.
But
So-
I learned something new. If you're in the dance world.
If you're in the dance
We're
world.
in the dance world, right. If you don't know me, then you're missing a lot.
You're missing out on
Missing
quite a
a
bit.
lot, That's right. But I learned something new about you
What?
recently. And so the first thing I want to say is thank you for your service to our country.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Thank
I
you for
was
your service.
drafted in 1963. Oh, God, that sounds so long ago. But anyway,
You were just a kid.
Yeah, I was. I
Took you
thought my
for-
dancing days were over because I was
Right.
in the Army in infantry,
Uh-huh.
and I was scheduled to go to Nam. But because my mother was sick at home, I got out of that, but I still did my 2 years because I was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It
So they
was,
keep you for 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. I came out as high as I can go, a Spec 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so yeah, it was. I think everyone should have the experience of
Being in the military.
Oh God, yes.
I think every man at least, right?
Well, if you
teaches
say
you
that,
something.
then women are going to want to. They're
And women.
and women, please, not today.
Forgive me. Yes.
Right.
Forgive-
Clearly, I haven't had my coffee yet. It's obvious. But yeah, no. So I learned that because Sharon Savoy, who is a legend in her own
Yes.
way, theatrical dancer, wrote a book about you.
Right, passionate journey.
Yes.
Yes, and I revealed it all.
I
So
can't
if
wait
you-
to read it. Yeah.
Yes, so
yeah.
if you want the book, go to the website.
There you go.
You'll hear all about my escapades and how I got to where I am
Hashtag
today.
shameless plug. I love it.
Yeah.
That's
What's
right.
the website? Tell us.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll ask Sharon.
Passionate Journey, whatever it's called.
Yes,
Yes.
and we'll find out and we'll scroll it on. the
Yeah,
screen.
it's,
and when
uh,
I say we, I mean him,
Yeah.
the engineer. He'll do it.
The engineer.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, Bill Sparks was behind the whole thing about the book.
Okay.
You know, because we've had so many, not that I'm going anywhere, like dying, but we've had so many people in our business, like Vernon Brock, Bob Adiris, that really made it, the business what it is.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, the youth and the kids, whatever, don't even know their names. So Billy said, you know, it'd be
Just
nice to have
said,
a bio, a book, you know, about you. I was
Yes.
totally against it.
Really?
Yes, totally.
And who talked you into it?
Billy.
Nice.
And then Sharon always on
The
me.
motivator.
Yeah, right.
So all those motivators.
Yeah. So I wasn't. But now, when I see it and people read it and they enjoyed it,
Yes.
you know, I've never completely read it.
Well, you lived it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
That's
You know
it.
the
I know that. I know it. I know what
You
it's.
know, you don't have to turn the page. I about covered that.
Like, oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yes. Well, when I was 8 years old, that's when it all started.
Wow. Yeah, that's so great. So yes, get the book. And then I also want to just point out, if people don't already know, you have impacted so many lives with dancing because of Ohio Star Ball being televised on PBS. And this is exactly how I started ballroom dancing.
Well, this is
And-
it. It was
yes.
brought into people's homes.
Yes,
That.
because of you.
Yeah. Well.
And a lot of help, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, PBS, luckily the producer and I got along. Because everyone wants TV, but you don't know how difficult that can be.
Yeah, the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, because you have to release everything on Friday and Saturday night to the TV. They own it, the Friday and Saturday night.
Oh.
And yeah, there's always situations, there's always concerns, you know, and but no, 6 million, 10 million people watch this.
Yes. And I'm sure you've heard story after story of people saying, why I started dancing is I saw it on TV.
All the time.
On-
I was
yeah.
judging a competition in Kansas City one time,
Uh-huh.
and I had to go back to the airport to get my luggage or something because it didn't come. So I get on the bus, the hotel bus, and I'm on the bus, and this guy keeps looking at me. And he goes to me, he says, "Aren't you the guy on the PBS that they thank at the end of this dance show. I said, that's for 30 seconds.
But
How did you see me?
Yeah.
He said, no. He says, oh, I'm so honored that I met you. And so he drops me, the guy drops me off, the bus driver. Then he comes back and picks me up and he says, you know how impressed that guy was that he saw you and met you? And I said, but I didn't even know people. 30 seconds. And it's brought to you by Sam Sodano. Boom.
Done.
Yeah, and then you do like this.
And I do like this.
And that's it.
And he remembered.
That's unbelievable. So, with all of that success and you impacting so many lives, started so many dancers, I would love to hear how many. We have a little maybe post about that and people's stories. Anyway, and yet you are so approachable. You remember everyone's name and pronounce it correctly. And
That's talent in itself.
very wonderful, nice person. You invite everybody to your competition sincerely with a beautiful heart, and people know that and they love that.
Well, I feel a competition's like your home. If you have people come to your home, you're not going to ignore them or acknowledge them or go up to them and talk to them. And I keep telling these new organizers, one thing you have to remember, when these people come to your comp, treat it as if they're coming to your home.
That's a great way to say it.
That is a
Come
good
up
way to
to
say
them,
that.
go over to them and introduce yourself. Just find out more about them. Because, many people I've sent to competitions, and they've come back and I've said, how did you enjoy it? And they would go, well, we never even saw the organizer. The organizer just passed us by, so we're never going back to that. So I was glad that God created me to be caring, being aware of people, and because it's a gift. I didn't teach. I mean, everyone says, how do you do that? I don't know.
You wake up in the morning and it
your mom-
I wake up in
happens.
the morning.
Your mama raised you right.
My mom, she did.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, long
But
time
it is
ago.
it's amazing how people's personalities, they're really born with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I was a kid in school, unfortunately didn't concentrate on school. I wish I did. I was a party boy. But I was always an organizer.
Social. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
social.
You had to organize the party.
it. Somebody's got to organize.
I had to keep myself interested. But years later, and here I am, 76, and I'm going, if I only would have paid more attention to geography and history, all the stuff I could have learned. Because, today, I like all that. I always blame, I didn't have a good teacher. Blame someone else. When anything goes wrong, don't blame me. I know nothing about it.
It's possible because a good
It is.
instructor is inspiring.
Well, I think that you got to be just very aware of people, their surroundings, the people around you. I can read people pretty good. I mean, I've been in the
have that
business.
gift.
I started in 1960.
Wow.
You've been around a minute.
I've been around it. I mean, everyone that's judging right now, I used to judge them when they competed. So, I mean, I like the experience and all the memories I've had of getting to this point. And I'm glad I feel I did it the right way.
Sure.
But it's all about caring about people and being sensitive to their needs. Like one time at the Ohio Star Ball, my partner, he said to me, can you believe it? These people are coming down. The water's not hot enough in their bathroom. And she had to brush her teeth with her orange juice. Why is she telling me this when there's not enough toilet paper in her room? Why is she telling me this? I said, because you're there. You got to be concerned about that. You can't just fluff it off. You have to be interested and say, I'll take care of it. Instead of just, well, what am I going to do about it? You just have to care.
Yeah.
C-A-R-E.
Yes. And just so everyone knows, you agreed to do this interview last night at 2 a.m.
Actually,
We saw
this
it.
morning, yes.
Remember that?
this morning.
Like
I
literally
will.
this morning.
No.
I will always remember.
And I'll tell you, I don't like interviewing. I mean, I do a lot of them,
Yes.
but something told me, well, just do this,
Aw, thank
because
you.
you're nice people.
Thank you.
So,
And you can tell.
yes, and you're very homey people.
Welcome to
like
our
it.
home.
Oh, yeah, welcome to our home. It's well lit, as you can see.
The lighting is fantastic.
No, all this equipment. Okay.
So I appreciate you. So literally, we invited you to do this at 2 a.m. You said sure, and so that was really nice because you were judging at 9:30.
Yes.
Yes, and so after you said, "Okay, I'm going to bed," we said, "Well, I think we better too."
Yeah, but nothing's ever too much for me. I mean, come on. This is not a job.
You're having
It's
a
a
great
way of
time.
life.
Yes.
Yeah, when I come to these competitions, I love to socialize with the students and the teachers. Okay, my fellow peers, the judges, I see them I judge about 30 times a year.
Okay.
So I know the judges. Why do I have to hang with them? You know, what more can I say to them? But
You see them 30 times a year.
yeah, but the students, the teachers, I like, and meeting new people.
It's interesting. You're a people
Sure.
person.
Oh yeah, that's
for
it.
sure. For
I
sure.
am a people person, and like I said, I'm glad I was given what I've got.
We are glad too. We're glad
It's,
too. So what have we got coming up as far as events this year? Anything new coming up?
Oh well, I got a competition next weekend called the Atlanta Open
Okay.
with Debbie Avalos and Sarwar Kaloubi. I have
Nice
5
people. Talk
competitions.
about
Yes,
nice people. Those are two
I'm
nice
part
people.
of 5 competitions.
Okay.
Ohio, I do myself,
Uh-huh.
but all the other comps, I have partners. I have. Then we have the Envy Ball in August in Vegas with Brian Watson, Carmen,
Oh, nice.
and Hansi, and me. So, and then there's another competition in Galaxy in the end of right after the USBC in September.
Uh-huh.
That's John DePalm and Marianne and Linda Dean, and then there's one in December, the holiday with Mary Murphy and Wendy
That's
Johnson.
a big one.
So I'm glad I get along with people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because partnerships, yeah.
Those are some fine people you just
Oh, yeah, but
mentioned.
this is it. It's not
Yeah.
difficult, but sometimes I find myself in the middle of some things, but that's all right. I can handle it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said,
Things
I'm
happen.
a people person, so.
Sure.
Well, we sure appreciate you spending time with us, and I'm excited to read your book.
Yes, then interview me.
Again. Yes.
Again.
Yeah, that's actually what we need to
Say,
do.
what did this mean in chapter so and so?
Yeah. What was that all about?
And that's really exciting that Sharon wrote that about you too. So
Well, you know, to be successful, you got to be persistent, especially with someone like me who didn't want this. I kept saying to Billy and Sharon, "Oh, come on, who's interested in my life?" And I'm not that kind. I don't want it all out there like this Facebook, this new thing.
Why read a book? It's right there.
Yeah, I mean, what they put on that Facebook,
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You'll never see me say that. So to put my life in a book, and for it all to be out there, but they were persistent,
good.
and to be successful, you have to be that way, because
That's true.
yeah, persistent.
No, there is that.
You know that.
Yeah.
Just by trying to find people to interview, you got to keep persistent.
Yes.
Sure.
But it works out. So I'm happy.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. You
Yeah.
make a lot of
If I'm
other people
happy, the world's happy.
That's true.
Somehow that doesn't
You bring a lot of
surprise me.
happiness to the world.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Well, yeah. But someone said to me one time, how do you network good. And I said, what do you mean I network good? He goes, well, when you go to competitions, I said, I'm socializing.
I'm just talking to people.
Don't put a label on that like I'm networking. Like
You talk to people.
I talk to people.
Yeah, and they know that you do.
Yeah, so
You're a very
they
sincere
label
person.
it networking. I just do it comes naturally.
Yeah, they're commercializing it. Oh, yes, you're networking.
That's
No,
it.
I'm just talking to the guy.
Yeah. One time, this is the last story I'll tell you. I was in a restaurant for breakfast, like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I stayed in there till lunch. Just hopping to the tables and just talking to people that were coming in. There was this little boy there who was there for breakfast and then saw me coming out of the restaurant for lunch. And he said, were you eating all this time? I said, no, I was socializing. He said, well, I wonder why you're that big.
Wow.
Well, that's okay. He was just a little kid. But
Not looking
he
at-
thought I was eating
The
that
whole time. The whole time.
I said, no, I wasn't
Maybe he
eating.
thought
Wow.
socializing was another word for
Eating. I know that.
Oh, is that what they call it now? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you always say the restaurant's my office
Mm-hmm.
at competitions.
Okay.
Because that's when you're the most relaxed, when you can talk to people.
Yeah.
Sure.
In
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ballroom, they usually wonder, well, what did you think of my dancing? But when you're in an atmosphere like less stressful, you can start just talking about them and
So it's a neutral site.
yeah, that's it.
Do you,
Holy ground.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
true. Do you mind if people come up and ask you about their dancing, how it is?
No. Well, could I put it out there? You can't judge as much as I do and not be, like you said, approachable because they want to know. Yeah, sometimes I see them every weekend. Sometimes I see them getting better every weekend, and sometimes I don't see them getting better every weekend. and they want to know. So I do it very diplomatically,
But truthfully.
but truthfully. I criticize in a different way. I don't intimidate. Like when I go on coaching lessons, why intimidate? They feel intimidated already.
Yeah, as soon as you walk in.
As soon as someone, the high judge walks in. So I try to make it just as easy and
fun.
yeah, and let me know something about you. Fun is the word. You would never know that at competitions. In
Fun.
Ohio, we run 3 ballrooms. The Pro-Ams, which is a hotel, the arena, which is all the kids, and then another ballroom, the convention center, which is for the collegiate kids. Okay?
All this
So-
going on at the same time.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah, and this is on the
Good
weekend.
God, man.
Yes.
Okay? And you go into each room, you can feel the seriousness in the Pro-Am room. You can see the seriousness, but it's more with the parents than the kids.
Oh, yeah, it's always the
Yeah.
parents.
But the kids are really, and then you go to the collegiate room and it's all fun.
Just having a blast.
Just having a blast. And I could feel it when I went into each room. And it's built up to be a very big competition and consistent. And like 2 years ago, we celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And I brought
Congratulations
back-
on that.
Thank you. And I brought back all the couples that made
I know.
Ohio what it is today because of the TV. And it went over quite well. Pyramid A.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I invited them, and they said, Sam, this whole audience is new. They're not going to know who we are. I said, believe me, you made Ohio what it is today.
And did a lot of
especially
people
on
approach
right.
it?
When they did their number, they got a standing ovation. I walked over to them, I said,
See?
remember what I told you.
Yeah.
People love you. They've seen you all these years on.
That's
People
right.
don't forget.
That's
No, they
right.
don't. No, they don't. This
No,
is.
so-
I'm a little late to the game since I got with her, but so this comp has been like the biggest one I've been to,
Well,
and
this
this is pretty amazing. I'm actually looking forward to catching up with you.
Yeah,
at
this
the,
comp
at
is
the Ohio.
the oldest. When they said 56 years, I started judging it when Terry Leone and Wayne and Donna took over. Before that, I just came one time to watch it. Before that, 56 years. This is the oldest.
Yeah, this is
I
the
think
oldest.
this is the California Star Bowl.
The Sloans had it before.
Yeah.
Wayne and Donna, yeah.
Right. So I only attended that one time, but not to judge. I just walked in I was in town, so all these comps that build up like this, to where they're so big, and everything. The organizer has to have a idea of what he wants his comp to be like. If you don't promote it, you got to make it what I find more important than it is. A lot of people make their comp very important, much more important than it is, and that catches on. And when you think like that and talk like that to other people, these people want to be there.
Yeah.
They don't know if they've never been there. I mean, one of the things is like the Millennium. It's amazing what Michael's done with that event.
Right.
It's amazing what they've done with here too. But with Ohio, it's like I don't like to boast about entries. I mean, I know this comp's had 16,000. I never count the collegiate. Like the year before, I had 14,500 entries on my anniversary. But if I would have counted the collegiate, it would have been over 17,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I don't count the collegiate because it's like a comp in itself. They pay, but I just don't.
You don't.
I don't put that in the entry count.
Yeah, you don't put those numbers in.
No, I don't. I just don't. You see, to me, it's the bodies. You got to get the bodies at these events, or else, you need an audience.
You need an audience.
And sometimes when it runs too late,
you lose the audience.
You lose the audience, especially if they have to dance the next morning.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right.
Absolutely, yeah.
But comps don't keep. This comp was good.
Yes.
The Emerald Bowl kept their audience,
Mm-hmm.
but in Ohio on Friday night, because people have to dance Saturday
morning, yeah.
And it's difficult to stay there till it ends, which is around midnight, and then wake up and be down there by 7.
Do you still serve breakfast at midnight?
Yes.
I'm going.
Which I think is a really nice touch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who wants anything heavy?
Right, but it's nice to have a little something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's just a really nice
I'm gonna
touch.
circle my calendar with this one. You get breakfast at midnight? Yeah, you believe I'll be there.
Yeah, you have to come to the Ohio Star Bowl this year.
Okay.
Done.
There you go.
You have to have the experience.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is the biggest one I've been to, so I'm looking forward to
Well, then
it.
I'll have to
being
get
there.
you to come.
Yeah.
He's been dancing since 2015. He's an emerging dancer.
Oh, you're a virgin yet?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I only had one outing, and it was had mixed results.
Oh, no. Hey, I was at one of the first dance-arounds when I was 16 years old in Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
I was a student, and I did the cha-cha and the foxtrot. The cha-cha, I think I placed second. In the foxtrot, I didn't even make the final. But I was 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
Arthur and Catherine were the hosts. Arthur and Catherine Murray. That was the first time I was introduced to internet. They brought a couple over from England to do the International Ballroom Show.
Okay.
In 1960. You see, these are all the things that I love, that I can think back on.
And it's in
and
the
I
book?
see it, from the beginning and how it started and. Yeah.
So much history.
Oh yeah, 1960. That's almost. It's going to be 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
I love when I go to these kids that are dancing. I say, I think I'm older than your parents, aren't I? They say, yes.
Well, don't remind me. I'm just don't bring it up.
Well, I just judged a kid today. When I walked in to go into the ballroom, this kid walked over to me, and he says, "Sir," and I said, "Yes." He says, "Do you remember me?" And I'm looking at him and go, and then he smiled, and I said, "How cold? How old are you?" He said, 26. I said, "I saw you when you were that little." Now he's teaching.
Wow. Yeah.
These are the things that I can remember him when he was dancing as a kid. He was
And
good.
you remembered his name. You have such a memory. It's amazing.
Well, he had a face and a smile that
You remember.
I remembered. I mean, I don't remember everyone's name. It's impossible. I love when they come over to me. I heard you are good at names. Do you know who I am? I go, don't do that to me.
That's not fair.
That's not fair.
I
That's
don't
a
do
setup.
that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I haven't seen you in 40 years. Well, what do I look like? Psychic? I love when they test me, Okay.
40 years. Of course
40
I'm not going to
years.
remember you.
How am I going to remember you? But anyway.
You show up every other week or something, I might be able to do something after 40 years, but come on.
But, I love to see these kids grow up.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one girl. See, I can go on forever. of the experiences. But
We'll let you have one more story, and then we're going to let you have some lunch.
Okay.
Because you have to
good.
judge. Yeah.
I think it's a pro couple now. Okay, and now she's a little older and she's married. But when she was 10, okay, her mother came over to me and she goes, "Can you come here and talk to my daughter?" I said, "Why?" She said, "She's very upset because her partner doesn't want to dance anymore, and I think she has a crush on him. 10 years old." So I went over to her and she was crying, and I said, "Honey, you're 10. You will find 1,000 more partners." I said, "It's hard for me to tell you because right now you're 10 and whatever.
You're devastated.
You're devastated." And she's crying, and I said, "But trust me, and now she has become a very good dancer. I think she's in the Derek Huff show.
Nice.
Danielle Carey. I can't say these Russian names that well, but I think she still competes with her husband. I think they're married. Yes, they are. But she's doing the show with Derek Huff.
That's fantastic.
So these are the memories.
Yeah, right. Nice.
That I think about.
Well, you know what? That's good.
You have a fortune in memory.
Yes, you do. Quite the rich man you are.
I'm rich in memories. It's not going to pay my bills, but it makes me feel
You know what? It makes you feel good. All right, sir. Well, we're not going to keep you much longer.
Okay, thank you.
We got to get going here,
My
Sam.
stomach's growling.
Yeah, right. I can hear it from here.
Sam is such a wonderful man. Agreed to do this interview at 2 in the morning and is in between judging.
Oh, yes.
To do this interview. He's fantastic.
He is the
and
man.
gentlemen.
So thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure to
I knew this was going to be good.
All right, I'm actually looking forward to taking this show on the road to Ohio. So when we get there, we'll bring all the equipment. And we'll do some interviewing when we're there. How about that?
Give me 5.
Absolutely. There we go.
All right.
All right, the lovely Amay.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Jose.
All right, folks. Well, this has been another episode of Dance Teachers Academy. Thank you for watching.